Okay, this is Orlando Wilson, and what I want to talk about in this short video is drugs and the issues of clients is using illegal substances, or even legal in some places. Now, in today's society, drugs are everywhere, be it prescription drugs, be it illegal drugs, etc. Personally, I'm not into drugs. I stay away from drugs. For me to take something like a paracetamol or an Advil is very, very rare. But in many parts of, well, in most people's lives, recreational drugs are part of their life, part of their lifestyle. Especially if you're dealing with affluent people, affluent clients, party clients. Now, at a base point with me, if a client or somebody's buying illegal drugs, that's putting them into contact with criminals to start with. So there's a problem. The other thing in a lot of places, if you're caught with drugs, if your client is caught with drugs, you're going to have problems. Which in a lot of places, if you're arrested, if you're charged, you're going to have licensing issues, etc. If your licenses are gone, then you can't work. So it's not just, from a CP point of view, it's not just a licensing, it's not just a lifestyle choice, it's a career choice, because it could end your career. The other thing that gets me with a lot of people that do illegal drugs, I come across people, they won't eat meat, they're fussy eaters, they're germophobic, etc. But they'll go and put substances into their body and up their noses. They just brought off some kid off the street, or bought in some nightclub, etc. To me, that's a little bit strange. Now, one issue these days, in a lot of places, especially in US now, recreational drugs, such as marijuana, etc., are legal. Okay, that's cool in those areas. That's cool in those states. But if you're with a client that's happening into taking recreational substances, etc., I don't judge. What people do is up to them. I think from the legal aspect and the business aspect. If people are into that, if they've been using drugs which are legal in one state, and they then fly into a state where those drugs are illegal, they can have big problems. Because the cops don't care, they'll charge them. That's it. If you're with them, you can have issues as well. Especially if you're sharing cars, etc. I'll talk about that in a second. I'll tell you a story as well to do with drugs. A few years ago now, somebody asked me a favor to bring a bag back from them from the Middle East. The person was corporate, whatever, I knew them. Didn't think anything of it. Happy to help, but it was for their daughter. When I searched the bag, because I'm not going to take a bag with me, I don't search, it was full of pills. I said to the guy, what the F is going on? He said, oh, they're not illegal, etc. They're just whatever pills. You know what? Not my problem. I dumped a lot. I'm not sure if they were prescription, etc. Dumped them. Not interested. The issue is, in a lot of places, what might not be a prescription drug in one country requires a prescription drug in some countries. I joke with people. I know people's gone to other places, bought sex drugs such as Viagra, etc., and took them back into US. And I said to him, it's like, you can get busted for that. Why? You need a prescription for that drug in the US. So something as simple as that can cause you big problems. Big problems at customs. And again, just because you want it hard on, you're going to end up being thrown in jail, right? So, be careful if you're buying drugs in other countries. Even if you've got a cold or some shit, you buy something which is legal in one country, you take it to another country, that could be a prescription drug in the other country. So always check. And this needs to be part of your threat assessment. If you're traveling with medical equipment, make sure that everything you've got is legal in the country you're going to. Because again, you try to take that through customs, immigration, you get stopped. It can be done for importing illegal drugs, etc. So be very, very careful. Now, I know one guy, knew one guy, and I've heard of him for years. In South Florida, was doing very well for himself, had a good investigation business, and he put a lot of work into trying to get in with one of the large music companies. And he succeeded, and he was getting good work. He had issues on a few cases. There's a few things from this, but specifically to do with drugs. He ended up leasing out a couple of very nice cars, Range Rovers, brand new, specifically for his clients. And he ended up binning the contracts. The reason being, he was dealing with a lot of reggaeton guys. If you don't know what reggaeton is, Google it. And again, the clients were paying well. The music company was paying well. His issue was with these reggaeton guys. They was in and out of his cars all the time because he's driving them around. His guys are driving them around. Illegal firearms, which can be an issue. And more importantly, illegal drugs. They're all popping pills. They've all got weed. They've all got stuff on them. So again, you've got these little reggaeton guys been driven around in very fancy brand new Range Rovers in South Florida. So the chances of them being pulled over by the cops is high. Okay, let's say now one of this guy's cars is pulled over. His driver, who's licensed, private investigator. They know what to do, deal with the cops, be nice, honest, etc. Okay, the cops are going to ask, any drugs in the car? Okay, if one of these little reggaeton kids had drugs on him, when the police pull them over, what's he going to do with the drugs? Well, the chances are he's going to drop them in the car, right? Okay, if the cops find drugs in your car in the US, you know what that means? Everybody goes to jail. That's it. Everybody's charged. So that would mean for the driver, they're going to have issues with their licenses, their private investigators' licenses, if they're carrying, which I expect there was, their firearms licenses, etc. Right? You've just been arrested on a drugs charge. Also, the cops are now impounded a leased car, so you're going to have trouble with the leasing company for the vehicle. So the guy I knew ended up dumping these contracts because he's like, look, he wasn't going to risk his career, his licenses, his guys' licenses, legal fees, issues with car lease companies, and everything else because of some little reggaeton guy that wants to pop pills and smoke weed. So this is where, if I'm dealing with clients and there's an indicator that they're doing illegal substances or illegal drugs, I'm very, very wary of dealing with them. Personally, I wouldn't deal with them. And this is stuff you need to find out on the threat assessments. Not my world, not my type of client. If the client is overdoing prescription drugs, again, that can be another issue. Because you don't want to turn up one day to pick your client up and they've overdosed. So I got an article online about dealing with problematic clients. But again, all this is stuff you have to take into consideration. Drugs these days, especially, because they're that prevalent. And you know what, even if you're not taking them yourself, if you're around people that are taking them, are using them, are abusing them, you can end up in a lot of problems just by being associated. So if your clients are into the drug culture, be careful. Okay, I got 3 books online specifically to do with close protection. There's more books up there to do with various aspects of the security business. We got a lot of videos going up now on social media, reference various aspects of the close protection, security business, etc. So connect with us, follow us on social media with the books, with the videos. They should answer a lot of your questions. If you connect to me directly, feel free to reach out to me, and I'm happy to answer relevant questions.